Hey, let me quickly pop into Instagram as well. Hey, everybody, my name is Eileen. I am a holistic life coach, and I get to help people who love nightlife, who love electronic music, how to find their direction so that they can be confident and happy about the lifestyle they choose and build a life around their passion for electronic music without wrecking their health and mental well being. Today, I want to talk to you, DJs and producers in particular, about something that you need to know about imposter syndrome. Now, before I dive into that, quickly, I want to touch upon Blackout Tuesday, which happened this Tuesday. The music industry chimed in on that, massively showed their support for the initiative called hashtag the show must be paused. I personally did not partake in that. I could see a lot of people all over social media really blacking out their profile pictures and using the hashtag Black Lives Matter and the hashtag the show must be paused. Somehow this became about silence, and that was not the point. So if anybody who joined in or who was curious about it or didn't really understand it, I suggest you just have a deeper look into what it was really about. Go find the original posts about the show must be paused, because somehow the message got distorted. I personally spent the past weeks actually just really looking into reading more about anti-racism. I also joined the Lounge, which is a monthly subscription by a platform called Check Your Privilege. It is mostly geared towards white women. Well, that's as far as I understand now, to white women. Also, the coaching programs that they have are geared towards white women to help us unpack our white saviorism. And the subscription, the monthly subscription, is really meant to help you learn more about the topics of racism, privilege, and power. So anybody out there, however you identify yourself, if you're interested in learning more about white privilege, unpacking white saviorism, or just in general looking to learn more about racism, power, and privilege, I suggest or you check out, Check Your Privilege. I found them on Instagram. Um, so just go over there, check it out. It's very informative, very necessary, very useful. And so I will be recommitting to looking into the subscription, the calls, the assignments, and all of that, in the coming days and weeks and months to come. Okay, with that said, if you're interested in letting me know in any interesting resources that I should check out, preferably by the BAME community, persons of color, stuff that I should check out that's related to electronic music and wellness in the electronic music scene, please, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will be happy to check them out and share, repost, whatever that looks like. Now, today, today I want to talk about the topic of imposter syndrome, which is something that is very common among DJs and producers. And imposter syndrome is really something that is tied to a deeply rooted self-esteem issue, and it's really coming down to feeling unworthy of success. It really feels like whenever you reach success, or you're about to reach success, or you're just even remotely in the neighborhood of success, you will probably, whenever you are suffering from imposter syndrome, you will probably have this tendency to kind of talk it down, to kind of minimize it, or to just really deeply feel like you don't deserve it, you are not worthy of it. It must have been a fluke, because no fucking way that, excuse the language, that could be you, that you could be so good at something, or your music could be so good, or your set could be so great, or people actually could have had fun. No way that's tied to you. It must have been something else. You're just going to talk it down. And most of the times you really feel like this constant fear of being exposed as a fraud, You will suffer from, fearing from intellectual phoniness. You will just feel like a fake. And that's really kind of the general definition of what imposter syndrome is. Now, there are many different ways that this can come out. There are as many different ways as there are people. And so I wanted to talk about something else that is tied to imposter syndrome. So something that may look like imposter syndrome and something that I think every DJ and producer needs to know about imposter syndrome. And that is actually, you may not be suffering from imposter syndrome. Maybe you think you are, but there could be something else going on. So before you go ahead and look up all of the signs, whether or not you have imposter syndrome, whether or not you're nodding and saying like, yeah, I feel that fear of being exposed as a fraud a lot. I feel like a phony a lot. I feel like I'm not expert enough. I feel like people are going to find me out soon. If you're nodding and like, yeah, that's me, wait a minute, because I think there's something you need to know about this. It could also be that you're not suffering from imposter syndrome, but that there is something else going on. And that something else that could be going on below the surface could be that you are trying to skip too many steps, okay? And you're trying to skip too many steps ahead only to realize that it'll catch up with you and you don't know how long you will be able to keep up the facade. That's not imposter syndrome. That's just you trying to move through the process too quickly, knowing, being conscious of the fact that you're just really trying to look for a shortcut. And you just don't know how long you will be able to keep up the facade. That's something entirely different from imposter syndrome. That's not imposter syndrome. That's you trying to look for the easy way out, trying to make it easier for yourself, trying to get there faster, finding the shortcuts. And that just feels dishonest. And the fear that you're feeling there, the fear of, oh my God, I'm just really trying to make this quicker and easier for myself. In the meantime, I'll just kind of fake my way through it. But still, I'm like, I don't know how long I will be able to keep up this facade. That's not imposter syndrome. That's just you really trying to capitalize maybe more on personality traits, pushing yourself forward as to being something that you are not, but really in a conscious way, just because you want to get to where you want to go faster and you do not want to put in the work. And this is really important. When you suffer from imposter syndrome, actually, you really are putting a lot of work and you really are willing to put in a lot of work. The thing is that you're not recognizing the achievements and the victories that come from putting in all of that work. At least that's my opinion. However, what I am talking about, when you're trying to look for shortcuts, you are willingly telling yourself that you are not willing to put in the work, that you don't want it to take too long because it has to go fast, 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 and you're just looking for instant gratification. And you're just kind of faking that you're really working hard and that you don't really know whether or not this is going to work out, but it's really you just keeping up a facade because like, okay, I should actually be working more on this and practicing more and being more consistent. Now, whatever that may look like for you, it could be about, for example, releasing a track. It could be about a DJ set. It could be about getting a job behind the scenes in the music industry. It can really look many different ways. I just kind of wanted to point out, whenever you hear the term imposter syndrome, I want you to ask yourself if maybe there isn't something else going on, something along the lines of you trying to skip ahead, and just really realizing that at some point it will catch up with you and you just don't know how long you will be able to keep up the facade. This is really something important to realize about yourself, because this really ties in with who you really are and how you perceive yourself and how you are perceived by others. That's really tied to your identity. And really knowing that and being aware of those things, how you see yourself and how others perceive you, really knowing more about your identity is really very important, because it really affects the decisions that you make for your life and your career in electronic music. And it really has an impact on how you decide to move forward. So it's really, really important to know that. Plus, understanding your identity better really helps you to set healthy personal boundaries for yourself, because when you're working in electronic music, you're putting yourself out there. And so it's really good for you to know more about your identity, more about how you function and why you do certain things and how and what and when, so that you can really learn how to put yourself out there in a way that feels safe, in a way that you can feel respected, and in a way that you can really feel appreciated without feeling like a phony or feeling like I have to keep up the facade. Now, because this topic is so important, because identity is so important, especially when it comes to your wellness and well-being, I have decided to devote a full day to identity during my virtual summit, the Electronic Music Wellness Summit. It is happening June 23rd until 26th. It will be happening online because it's a virtual summit. And so I'm dedicating a full day to identity to help you figure out what your identity means to you, what your perceived identity is, how that affects your decisions, how that impacts your life and your career in electronic music moving forward, and how you can learn to set up healthy boundaries for yourself. If that sounds like you, and if you are a healthy, conscious person, if you're really in this, in electronic music for the long haul, and if you're not looking for a shortcut, but really looking for a way to dive deep and to really get to know yourself better and to do activities in electronic music and just in your life in general from a place of purpose, then this summit is for you. It's happening for 4 days. The second day will be all about identity. It's June 23rd until June 26th. There will be 23 speakers from all over the world across the 4 days, talking about how they managed to make a living in electronic music, really from a place of purpose, and also knowingly how to look after themselves without wrecking their health and their well-being. And so they will be talking about their journeys. There will also be 3 meditation activities and 1 sound bath by Michelle Cade, who is also known as Mind Like Water Wellbeing. She will be doing a sound bath, and you will get extensive opportunities to network, which is super important for your career. Remember that. Network inside a pop-up private Facebook group. So if that sounds like you, if you want to join, or if you know anybody that you think would be interested in this, just head on over to my website, theunicornmothership.com/EMWS. And there you will find all of the information about the summit. You will find a link where you can buy your tickets. And for every ticket sold, 10% of each ticket will be donated to Black Lives Matter. So you know that you are supporting a good cause in the process as well. If anything in this video resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. If you have any questions about anything that I've told you, and if you really struggle with this and you really need help, then know that I'm here to help you. This is what I do. This is my life's passion, my passion project, my work. So if you want to know how to solve this for yourself, then we can look over your opportunities and your possibilities, what could work for you, by just hopping on a 15-minute call. You will have to fill out a pre-assessment first before we can hop on the call, because I'm not going to hop on a call with just anybody. So the pre-assessment is meant to really look a little bit deeper into what you're struggling with. And then we just hop on a 15-minute call. It's free. Just to really look for what your possibilities are, what your opportunities are when it comes to making a living and building a life around your passion in electronic music. So that was it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye.